Hometown is our series, as you know, tracking all the ways Central Texas is growing, and oh, is it growing. With so much beauty and exciting attractions, it's no wonder people are moving out to the Texas Hill Country. If you've never been, it's just gorgeous out there. And for many, it's not just the views, but also just getting away from the interstate and all the noise. And all these charms the Hill Country has that's drawing more people each year, of course.
However, KVUE's Pamela Comme looks into how this growth is affecting the region's natural resources.
Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to get much closer to these babies.
About 2 hours from the city of Austin,
That's the nursery. Those are the mamas.
you'll find David Langford.
And it's a real ranch. We have cattle, sheep, and goats.
His ranch is deep in the Hill Country, a region he's been living in for years.
My wife and I both retired, and we moved from San Antonio up here to the ranch.
As the years pass, Langford sees the Hill Country grow, many in search for dark skies and small-town charms.
If their life dream is to live in the Texas Hill Country and have a place, I want them to do that. I want everybody to have their dream, just like we have our dream.
The Texas Hill Country population is about 4 million. It's grown by nearly 50% in the last 20 years. And by 2040, experts say the population will surpass 5 million. Catherine Bromans has contributed to the State of the Hill Country report, a report that talks about the best ways to help preserve this region because growth comes at a cost.
And that means more pressures on traditional water supplies. It means more straws into our groundwater resources and our aquifers. It means more strain on our river resources.
This is a very, very fragile water environment up here, and it's not being used, it's not being protected correctly. And that's not fair to us.
More people means more wastewater into the Hill Country's pristine waters.
As of 2018, we were seeing more than 2 billion gallons worth of new or additional treated wastewater being proposed to be discharged into the Blanco, the Pedernales, to Onion Creek, some of those most pristine riverways.
Romans is working to protect the waterways. However, drought in the area exacerbates water supply further.
We know from history that that means wells going dry, that means huge implications for Lake Travis and the drinking water supply for the city of Austin.
As for Langford,
Those creeks don't flow like they used to.
the effect on his ranch is noticeable but minimal because his great-grandfather demanded 2 things from those managing the property.
The first thing was that you don't overstock your land. If you have to feed, you have too many. And the second thing was that if you always plan for drought, then you're surprised when it rains. So we count on it being dry.
But what they didn't count on was the springs going dry.
It was not part of the plan in 1877, and it wasn't part of the plan when I was growing up, and it wasn't part of the plan 25, 30 years ago.
If conditions worsen, Langford has a plan.
You have to go to rainwater harvesting, which is not a problem. We have already started rainwater harvesting.
While that will be enough water to provide for him and his family, it won't be enough for the livestock.
They drink a lot more water. You'd have to have a water catchment area and storage area as big as as big as that stadium where the Longhorns play football. The well is back through there. I don't know if you can see back through there or not. The only other solution is we got to drill another well, and we go deeper, just like everybody else is going deeper. That doesn't solve the problem, that just postpones the problem.
Romans mentions a few things people can do to limit their footprint on the region's natural resources.
Collect rainwater off of your roof as an example and use that to offset your demand on your aquifer or your surface water supplies. How can we capture air conditioning condensate and reuse it in the home? How can we think as a city like Austin about protecting the lands and the watersheds that provide all of the water that we depend on as a community?
Langford hopes all this growth doesn't cost the Hill Country its best charms.
Well, it's a lifestyle and it's a way of life. I mean, there's Out here, there's hardly any traffic. There's not any noise. There's not a whole lot of crime. There's good schools. There's good education. There's nice small towns that provide everything. I mean, they've got Dairy Queens and Whataburgers and nice restaurants and everything in those towns.
He'll continue to enjoy his quiet life while he works to protect the special place he calls home. In the Texas Hill Country, I'm Pamela Comme.
Dairy Queen and Whataburger, both of them there. The Hill Country, by the way, is also known for its dark skies. As more people move to the region, light pollution continues to take over. People have to drive hours out west to get the best view, which is why people are working hard to protect the region's best charm.